The Lakers, they, what's the best way to describe this? They pooped and peed all over the floor last night in the closing seconds of the game to drop their second straight game to the Bulls. They are there's two ways that you could look at this, right? They are obviously a Josh Giddey half-court three away from, winning 2 straight games on the road, back-to-backs against the Pacers and against a Bulls team that's playing well. That's pretty solid, right? But they're also a fortunate LeBron tip-in away from losing 5 straight games. There's a lot to sort of go over. First and foremost, let's take a peek back at the end of this game, because it was one of the crazier games. I believe the Lakers had, I want to say I had it all. I literally just watched the second half of this game this morning. I want to say they had a 15-point lead with 5 minutes left. I mean, they shit themselves for sure. But here's the closing sequence here. 12 seconds left, and the Lakers are up by 5 points. Five-point lead with 12 seconds left. You're going to get Patrick Williams 3 here in the corner. Really porous defense there by the Lakers. Miscommunication. LeBron and Reeves both fly to Vucevic, leaving Patrick Williams wide open in the corner for 3. All right. Hey, 2-point game with 9 seconds left. We make our free throws. We win. LeBron has a atrocious turnover right here. Lazy pass on the inbounds. Great play by Giddey. Kobe White, who's just playing on another plane lately, even though he struggled for most of the game yesterday. Boom, game tying 3. Okay, this fan's sitting courtside, sprints across. And folks, I did sit courtside for a game earlier this season. I've got nothing else to say other than that. No, but if the game that I went to was close, there's a chance I could have been in a similar position. I can't, there's a chance I could have been sprinting across the sideline. But there he goes. He's going to the fucking locker room. That guy was still going. All right, so huge shot by Kobe White. We're hype. Let's go. All right, Lakers take a timeout. Austin Reeves had 2 really tough finishes towards the end of this game. Boom, puts the Lakers in front. Bulls don't have a timeout. 3.3 seconds left. 1-point lead. Stop ball, game's over, right? Stop ball, game's over. Stop ball. Need some pressure on the ball here. Got to get some pressure on the ball here. Josh Giddey, half-court 3 to win the game. Very reminiscent of the Max Strus game winner from a year ago when the Cavaliers beat the Dallas Mavericks. Absolutely one of the crazier shots you'll see. That's now twice that Luka in the last calendar year has, or not calendar, yeah, probably calendar year. Twice in the last, when was that Cavs game? Twice in the last 2 seasons that Luka's lost on a heartbreaker shot. Now, it's interesting. Which one's worse? Because on one hand, the Mavs-Cavs game last year, the Mavs, that was a great game through and through. Mavs fought back. They got a tough finish at the end of the game. PJ Washington hit what should have been the game winner, and then Max Strus hit that shot. Kind of a crazy-ass game. I think I remember vividly me being like, hey, all right, boys, you play like that. You're going to win almost every single game you play. You play like that, you're going to win almost every single game that you play. Head up. It sucks. This one's a little bit different because you shit all over yourself, right, in embarrassing fashion. So this one probably feels worse. This one probably feels a little bit worse because you shit all over the court, right? Like there was a biohazard on the middle of the floor. So that's what I would say. Let's talk a little bit about the Lakers, right? Because, well, anytime they lose, it feels like a referendum. But also, we're getting to this point in the season where playoffs are right around the corner. I wouldn't say single games matter all that much. It's March. Weird things happen around this time of the year. Teams are looking forward to the playoffs. Teams are checked out. You've got guys that are fighting for their NBA lives, that are putting up crazy performances. Like, a lot of things can happen. Now, that being said, we're on kind of an extended stretch now of the Lakers, who had that crazy winning streak. They had the best defense. It was, oh my God, this team is championship contender through and through. Over the last 15 games, LeBron's missed a solid chunk of those. Over the last 15 games, Lakers 7-8. 19th defense and defensive rating over that stretch. It's important to note, right? I just knocked a fucking banana on the ground, man. Just knocked a banana on the ground. Bubba, 21 months. Hey, slightly, been a while. How are you doing? I'm good, Bubba. How are you, buddy? Last 10 games, Lakers 4-6, 119 defensive rating. Which, in case you're wondering, is 22nd in the NBA. Now, do you want to know what other team in the league is 4-6 over their last 10 games? I'm just saying. Do you want to know what team over their last 10 games has a better net rating than the Los Angeles Lakers? And I'm not, those are just stats. Right? And that's just, I'm just reading stats. I'm not saying anything. I'm just reading stats. I'm just reading stats too. But anyways, no, the Lakers' defensive surge that they had was clearly a little fraudulent. Not to say that they're not a good defensive team, because I do think they tap into stuff defensively. Could be a top 10 defense, sure. That stretch where they were the number one defense, you watch the games, a lot of it was predicated on shooting luck. Right? A lot of it was predicated on shooting luck. And, you know, when you're the best defense in the league over that long of a stretch, or a top whatever defense they were, you know, it's real. They're a good defensive. They can be a good defensive team, right? Are they that top level number one defensive team? No, they aren't. Let's just be serious with ourselves, right? I think what's a little bit more concerning to me, I would say, is offensively, and I know they've been without LeBron and stuff, but really their offense, and there's moments offensively where their team just looks unstoppable, right? Moments where their team looks unstoppable. Julian with the $10. You're the GOAT. That's all. Well, you're not wrong. Almost crashed out over Texas Tech last night. Hey, well, you know, it got to a point, and again, I haven't watched a lot of Red Raider games this year, so I'm not like super diehard, but it got to a point where I was at least happy they fought back. You know, I was at least happy they fought back, but yeah, I mean, that was an incredible game. That was an incredible game. The Lakers have moments offensively where they look fantastic. They look unguardable. But since the trade, and Luka missed time, it took a while for Luka to come back. LeBron's missed time. They've had guys in and out. They've been a league average offense. That's the part to me where I'm like, okay, if I'm trying to carve a path for you to win a championship this year, which some people think the Lakers can. I don't at all. But if I'm trying to carve a path, you have to be absolutely elite offensively, I think. Right? You have to be elite. You have to be an elite offensive team. And they have not been that, which is it's a little strange to me. I think it's personnel driven. I think it's, you know, so LeBron came back and people in my chat are, why are you talking about LeBron? Why are you talking about LeBron? Okay. Because one, I don't do the thing that all of you guys do. And I've seen it, guys. I've seen it. The opening salvos have been fired. I've noticed it on Twitter. LeBron and Luka stands, they're full-fledged going at it. We've had opening salvos. It's kind of similar to like Fort Sumter, right? Where we've had some, was Fort Sumter the one where, that was the Civil War, right? I want to make sure my history is right. First battle of the American Civil War, right? We're firing some cannon shots. We're not at the Battle of Gettysburg yet, and that's fucking coming. I tried to warn you guys. Start digging your trenches, right? You guys aren't prepared for what's in store when it comes to LeBron Luka stands going at it. I said this, it's like the the Stan wars that you got, Kyrie and Luka, maybe that you saw in Mavs fandom, that was like the Civil War kind of, right? Where it's just like you're fighting with muskets still, or rifles or whatever. It's still very kind of an older, conventional military style, right? You see some advances, right? You're now in that period where World War I's about to start, and you're not prepared for it yet because you don't know what a machine gun is just yet. You don't know what tear gas is or mustard gas is just yet, but it's about to be unleashed upon you. That's what's coming. Okay? It's gonna be fucking bad. Just letting you know. We're already seeing the opening salvos getting fired. But no, LeBron had a rough 2 straight games. I'm surprised he even played in this game, considering how he looked in that game against Indiana a couple nights ago. And yeah, there is sort of a my turn, your turn approach that they're taking right now that we saw whenever Luka and Kyrie first got together. That we saw where it was just, you would look at it and you'd be like, man, can we figure out a way to get them involved in some action together? Can we figure out a way to where Kyrie's playing off of Luka and Luka's playing off of Kyrie versus what it looks like now where it's, okay, Luka, I'm going to do my shit. Kyrie, hold on a second. Or Kyrie, hey, Luka, I'm going to do my shit. Luka, hold on a second. That's kind of where we're at right now. But they still have stretches offensively where it fucking looks dynamite. I find all of these numbers so interesting. Like, what do I take away from all of this? So Luka, LeBron, and Reeves on the court together is just terrible. Defensively, they're awful. And my problem is, well, Nessa with the 199, how are you able to talk when a war is going on? I'm razor focused. If you guys were in my playback yesterday, we streamed the Rangers game, playback.tv/ShadleyBuys. We did stream the Rangers game. I did my Bleacher Report stream during that, and people in my playback stream could not believe how professional I was. You know, how I flipped that switch, boom, ready to go. You know, boom, ready to go. So Luka, LeBron, and Reeves on the court together, and I'm only including the games in which all these guys have played because that doesn't feel fair to me. Defensively, we know that's going to be bad. Offensively, that has to be an elite trio. You know, we have to be pushing 127, 128 offensive ratings, which I know is very high, but that needs to be pushing like, oh, this is one of the greatest offensive groups you'll ever see. Right? And we're not getting that right now. LeBron and Reeves on the court, that's good. Luka and LeBron on the court has not been good. -10 net rating, just in the games that they've played so far. Granted, only 72 minutes, a 103 offensive rating. That kind of goes back to what I've said. Kind of weird and wonky. Luka and Reeves have been great, and a lot of that was over that stretch where LeBron was out, and Luka was really starting to get going. Luka by himself, great. Again, a lot of that during that stretch where LeBron was out and Luka started to get going. And LeBron by himself, great. So Austin Reeves by himself, great at only 10 minutes. But, you know, you're starting to see how it's just like this weird wonky fit. Can't believe you said these guys are better than the Mavs final run roster. Can't believe you tried to say these guys are better than the finals run Mavs roster. Wait, did I say that? Wait, did I say this Lakers team was better than the Mavs team last year? No, I don't think I said that. I said this team sucked the moment it happened. Maybe did I say that? I really don't think I did. I think I said they're better than the Mavs conference finals run. I think I did say that they were better than the Mavs Western Conference Finals run. And you know what? I think that's probably still true. I mean, this team has LeBron James on it. You've been pretty low on them. I have been pretty low on them. Well, I didn't think their defense being like the best defense in the league was real. Is the problem. So LeBron's been struggling, and the thing is with them, with their personnel, you have to be. Why don't you guys tell me the chat was blocking this? You have to be elite offensively. You just do. And it's just not going to happen between now and the end of the season. But they'll reach a point where LeBron and Luka are playing off each other. They ran a couple interesting sets at the end of the game last night. getting Luka post-ups on Patrick Williams late in the game. Scored on one of them, missed on the other one, but 2 great looks. Like that stuff's really interesting to me, right? But there's a lot of your turn, my turn happening right now. LeBron's kind of struggled since coming back from that injury a little bit. Chat sort of looks like your thoughts as you're talking to stream. Yeah, I mean, and my thoughts are all over the place. Luka's still struggling at the rim. Luka's 3-ball. What's he been shooting from 3 lately? I mean, my God. Luka's found his 3-point shot. That much is certain. 4 of 12 last night, but I mean, he's been crazy from 3. 45% from 3 over the last 8 games for Luka on 10.5 attempts. Crazy. Shooting like, there times last year we were like, dude, Luka might be the best non-Steph Curry shooter in the league. Like, considering his degree of difficulty. Luka's also hit a couple of catch and shoot threes. A really interesting play last night where he relocated after a pass to connect and shot a wide open 3. That was really interesting because you don't see Luka do that very, very often, if ever. So we'll see. I mean, I saw people on Twitter asking, should we be concerned about the Lakers? I guess it depends. Concerned about what? Like, what do you mean concerned? If you think this team could win the NBA Finals, like that's actually what you think this year, yeah, you should be concerned. They're not going to do that. Right? They're not going to do that. Concerned is if like, oh my God, this Luka stuff's not going to work with LeBron. No, I wouldn't be concerned about that, to be honest with you. I think this stuff will work out. They are PJ and a center away, in my opinion. And look, this thing, like, so going into the season, if you were to tell Lakers fans, hey, you guys going into the season with what they had, what's the end goal for you guys? Well, they would tell you championship. We have 40-year-old LeBron James. We have an older 32-year-old Anthony Davis. We want to win the championship, right? But if you were to tell them, all right, what if you don't win the championship? What if you lose round 1, round 2, but you get Luka Doncic in the middle of the season? They say, oh, okay, good season. Doesn't matter. Good season. This season's successful. The future of our franchise has been saved once again. Once again, we were on the downturn, right? It's about to be over because realistically, we can't fucking do shit, right? We're probably going to draft horribly. Probably just going to be on our hands and knees begging for anybody to come to LA. They're just going to give it to us, right? They're just going to give it to us. Do you remember when Kyrie tried recruiting LeBron last year? What if that happens this year? What if LeBron leaves the Lakers? I mean, that would be pretty hilarious. It's not happening, though. Have NBA ratings gone up since the trade? I'd be concerned if the trade that's supposed to save the NBA is actually not a needle mover. Oh, they've had a couple of Lakers games have been some of the highest performing regular season games in years. I remember that. What was that, the Celtics game? What's the future of the Lakers when LeBron retires? They still need a lot of work. Yeah, I mean, this was... And I tried saying this right after the trade. Like, this isn't that impressive of a roster right now. You have Luka, though, so that cancels out a lot of stuff. If you just want to say Luka and Reeves might be our 2 guys moving forward, all right, that's somewhat interesting. But yeah, they don't have a lot of picks. Reeves is a pretty interesting trade asset if you're talking about like going out and getting another star, like assuming LeBron retires soon. But it doesn't really matter because, again, you have Luka, so it cancels out a lot of other stuff. So I don't know. A tough one for the Lakers. Crazy ending. And this is, I think, what you're going to get. We've seen this with Luka-led teams. We know this. Losing to teams in these stretches where you're like, what the fuck's going on? Why are we losing? What the hell's happening? LeBron teams have these as well. These stretches where you're like, what the hell just happened? Why did we just lose that game? Why are we kind of like nonchalantly bringing the ball up? Nonchalantly? I thought Luka had a great third quarter in this game. Fourth quarter, he comes back. And okay, I want to say this real quickly here because I saw some of it in the chats. I saw it on Twitter. I wasn't able to catch this game live. I was at softball and also laser focused on the Tech game. Saw Giddey hit that shot. I was like, all right, I need to go back and watch this shit. I watched the second half. I didn't watch the first half of the game. I watched the second half of the game this morning. I saw everything on Twitter, right? Like, oh my God, I can't believe how, like, Luka just got iced out of the game completely. I didn't see that. Honestly, I didn't see that. The stuff, it's wonky, right? It is wonky. There's some your turn, my turn stuff going on for sure. But it was did Luka play all 12 minutes last night in the third quarter? Paul with the $5. With Luka, you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the Doncic life. That's right. That's right. 100%. So Luka kind of dominated the third quarter of the game. $12 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 4 of 7. 12 minutes. Then get 7 minutes in the fourth. Guys, I've said this forever, and he hasn't done this a lot with the Lakers. He doesn't play full first quarters. But the Luka plays entire quarters. I was an advocate against it the entire time he was on the Mavericks. You could go back and look. I was against it the entire time. I never liked it. I always felt like it led to him coming back in the fourth quarter, and he doesn't have his rhythm. He's been playing full third quarters for them. I don't like Luka playing full quarters. I know he might like it, but I don't. The way that he plays with how much energy it requires, I'm not a fan of it personally. And I don't think it's a coincidence then that sometimes, like if you just look at his quarter by quarter numbers, you know, it tails off pretty dramatically. It's his defense. Anyone can go by Luka. Doesn't matter who. I would say Luka is probably a below average defender would be what I say. He's not terrible defensively. I wouldn't even necessarily say he's bad defensively, although he does have bad stretches. If you think Luka's shooting 41% field goal and averaging 4 turnovers a game is regular Luka, you're not a real fan of his. He's not fully healthy. No, Luka's not going to be healthy this season. Luka doesn't fully healthy. Go back and look at even at times last year before that knee injury popped up around February, March, whatever it was. I mean, a healthy Luka is relentless at the rim. Relentless. Luka's an elite defender against bigs. So, I mean, why do we have to use the word elite? This is what I don't understand. It always made me sound like a hater whenever I would push back against it. And it's not what I want to sound like. But it's that elite word. It's just like, no, he's not. Look at numbers. Numbers don't lie. Defensive numbers do lie. They do lie. Nobody takes defensive metrics seriously. It's part of the reason why, and you want to know how you can tell this. It's part of the reason why Draymond Green is now the favorite for Defensive Player of the Year. Why is that? Because there's no good defensive metrics. You can look at offensive metrics and you could say, okay, true shooting, all right, cool. But box score on off, EPM, whatever this shit is, right? Okay, cool. You can look at it. Taylor Jenkins fired? Wait, what the fuck? Wait, what? Excuse me?
Heard he has been unwilling to confirm